The word bully might sound juvenile, but it's a growing problem in our schools. Now, when I use the term bullying, I need you to know that it's a legal term for very specific actions a person does according to Texas state law. It's not just a recycled word from the 50s that adults use towards children. With that being said, I want your class to come up with some examples, real or not, of what bullying is. Give some examples of bullying. To paraphrase Texas law, bullying is written, verbal, electronic, or physical conduct at school that creates a harmful or persistently threatening environment and either interferes with the student's education or disrupts school operations. Harmful conduct includes harm to you or damage to your property. But it can also mean the fear of harm to you or the fear of harm to your property. Now, if someone calls you a name, it's not necessarily bullying unless they do it over and over. An example of persistently threatening might be someone saying to you every day that he's going to beat you up. Conduct that interferes with the student's education basically makes it hard for someone to focus or concentrate on schoolwork. And conduct that disrupts school operations might include causing a teacher to have to stop their lesson. It's important for me to mention that your school's definition may differ slightly from the one we're using. So make sure to look up the one your school uses so you know what kind of conduct bullying actually is. So, why do we need to understand what your school considers bullying? Texas law allows schools to take specific actions to protect you if you're being bullied. On the other hand, if actions are not considered bullying, it doesn't mean that the schools can't or won't do anything. It just means that different procedures are followed. In other words, if you're being mistreated at school, depending on how it's labeled, there are different ways schools are available to help. Now that we've defined bullying, let's talk about something more important and useful. What can you do if you see someone being mistreated? Whether it's written, verbal, electronic, or physical. Unless you've been in this kind of situation before, it's hard to know what to do. Here are a few simple things you can do to help when you see someone being mistreated. Say something. Even something as simple as, "That's not cool." Lay off of it, or cut it out. Anything to let that person know that what they're doing is not okay. Do something. Doing something doesn't necessarily mean it has to get physical. Sometimes it's as simple as finding a way to remove the target from the situation altogether. Be a support. If you've ever been bullied, you know how much it helps simply to know that someone else notices and cares. Being there to listen or getting that person in contact with a helpful adult, sometimes that's all it takes. Report it. If you know someone is being bullied, then reporting it to an adult might be the easiest and best thing you can do. Which brings us to the last question. What can you do if you are the one being bullied? So what can you do if you're the one being bullied? Say something. The person bullying you needs to know that what they did crossed the line. Saying "stop it" or "that's not cool" might be enough, but also make sure you're not saying anything mean or rude in return. Do something. One of the most important things you can do when being bullied is keep track of what's said or done. Writing down what happened, when it happened, and by whom. Or taking screenshots of what was sent or posted is evidence you can take to an adult. One of the hardest things you can do is avoid the situation entirely. This might include walking away or blocking someone online. But it takes a lot of courage and strength to remove yourself and do the smarter, safer thing, especially when what you really want to do is fight back. Report it. If you don't report it to an adult, then there's no way for them to know what's happening and to give you the help and support you need. But one of the biggest reasons students don't tell an adult is because they don't want to be called a snitch. This is because many people don't know the difference between snitching and reporting. Snitching is about getting someone in trouble. Reporting is about getting someone the help they need. So, what's next? Now that you've discussed the different ways to prevent bullying, it's up to you to stand up when it happens to keep people safe and make sure they feel supported. But that's not all you can do. The best conversation you can have now is, how do you want people to treat each other at your school? What might your school look like if everyone cared about each other? Good luck with all your efforts to make your school safer, and have a great day.